Afternoon, members. Thank you for attending today's session. I'm going to start off with a notice and summons of the meeting. Dear members of the Planning Committee, you are hereby summoned to attend the reconvened meeting of the Planning Committee from Wednesday the 10th of January 2024, which will be held as a hybrid meeting to be conducted remotely via WebEx and also physically in the Guildhall Chamber, Derry, on Tuesday the 11th of January 2024 at 2 p.m. And I'll ask Maura could take the members' attendances and apologies. Thank you. Maura.
Thank you, Chair. Members, you're hereby summoned to attend the reconvened meeting of the Planning Committee, which will be held hybrid to be conducted remotely via WebEx and also physically in the Chamber in the Guildhall, Thursday 11th of January 2024 at 2 p.m. Alderman Derry Cuzzy? No. Alderman Keith Kerrigan? Alderman Kerrigan? No. Alderman Neary McMorris? Nope. Councillor Jason Barr? Councillor Barr? Nope. Councillor John Boyle?
Online, Maura?
Nope. Yeah, thanks. Got that. Councillor Sean Fleming? Nope.
Sean.
Thank you. Councillor Paul Gallagher?
And Sean, Maura.
Thanks, Paul. Councillor Christopher Jackson?
And Sean, Maura.
Thank you. Councillor Fergal Leonard? Nope. Councillor Catherine McDade? Nope. Councillor Rory McHugh?
Sean, online.
Thank you. Councillor Sean Mooney?
Here.
In the Chamber. Councillor Patrick Murphy? In the Chamber. Councillor Grace O'Neillis? No.
And Shaw Arlena.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 8. Right. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Maura. Members, when you read out the broadcast statement, I would like to remind everyone present at this meeting in the Guildhall or in attendance remotely that this meeting will be broadcast live to the internet and will be capable of repeated viewing. This broadcast may be terminated or suspended in accordance with our protocol. Due to your attendance at this meeting, you are consenting to being filmed and to the use and storage of those images for broadcasting or training purposes and for the purpose of keeping historical records and making those records available to the public. Members and approved speakers are reminded to only have their mics and cameras on while speaking at the meeting and to use the chat facility to highlight a request to speak. A copy of the Council privacy notice may be found on the Council website. Number 4, members, declarations of members' interests. You can take those now or during the currency of the meeting. Number 5, there's no chairperson's business today. And number 6, going to go into the applications list. And the final application from yesterday's meeting, which we're doing today, is item number 3, LA 11 2023 1687F. Change of use from private residence to house in multiple occupancy, 13 Patrick Street, Derry. And the application is for recommendation to approve. And Malachy's taking that. Thank you, Malachy.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, members. Item 3 is LA 11 2023 1687F is a full application for change of use from private residence to house of multiple occupancy at 13 Patrick Street, and the recommendation is to approve. The application site is located within the commercial core and the central area as defined in the Derry Area Plan. Is also located within the Clarendon Street Conservation Area, close to the city centre at Patrick Street. The existing property is a three-storey mid-terrace property for red brick finish. There's no alterations to the proposed dwelling. So here's the existing and proposed. So everything's going to stay the same in terms of the elevations. The existing floor plans at the minute it's a 5-bedroom residence for living room and dining on the ground floor. The proposed floor plans is also proposing 5 floor with a slight change in the configuration of the bedrooms. So at the first floor, it'll be 2 bedrooms, and the second floor, it'll have 3 bedrooms. The policy context is set out in front of you and also from the case officer report. There's no dedicated HMO policy within the local plan or regional policy, so we rely on the SPPS and the Derry Area Plan, as well as other relevant policy context within PPS3, PPS6 due to its location within the conservation area, and the relevant supplementary planning guidance. We've consulted a number of bodies in relation to the application. DFA Roads have indicated for a proposal of this nature, normally the requirement would be 3 number parking spaces. Environmental Health have no objections regarding the noise regarding the application, subject to standard informatives relation to HMO legislation, etc. Historic Environment Division have no objections. In terms of representations, there have been 5 letters of objections and a petition from 6 separate households, all from the local area. And a letter of support has also been received from Ulster University. In summary, the issues raised within the objections relate to the notification process, concern about the future occupants of the HMOs and associated impacts via the proposed occupants, impact of the existing social housing apartments located within Patrick Street and operated by Triangle Housing, and the belief that the HMO would further impact or increase hardship on local residents, and they've asked for planning to take into account these issues in the report. So the policy consideration, the application is located within a central area. There is a proposal within a central area for protection of residential stock. The property is located within such an area. Officers are satisfied that this is not a change to non-residential use, and therefore this proposal will not be offended by a change to HMO use. And we've considered the impact for the occupiers of the HMO. We're satisfied that there's adequate private amenity space, there's adequate facilities within the property, and all in all, that the occupiers of the HMO are provided for, and the proposal is in compliance with the relevant policy. We've also considered impact on nearby properties. There is no operational amendments or additions to the proposed property. Therefore, there will be no issues in terms of overlooking or privacy. Issues relating to noise can be dealt with through the HMO licensing regime, which is operated through Environmental Health, where officers are satisfied that the amenity of the nearby residents won't be unduly affected by the proposed development. In terms of the character of the local area, Patrick Street has a mixed character, as well as office and commercial uses. There's also residential uses, which is well established in terms of the terrace within where the property is located within, as well as a recent redevelopment for flats, apartments located within Patrick Street also. There is no other records of HMOs approved in Patrick Street. This would be the first. But to take into account the overall mixed character of area, its central location within the city centre, officer of opinion that an approval of a HMO at this locality would not have an adverse impact on the character of the area. In terms of parking provision, the proposal is located within the commercial core. Policy TR5 of the Derry Area Plan indicates that only operational parking is a requirement. Therefore, there is no requirement on a policy to provide additional parking for the proposed development. That being said, even the existing property was for a 5-bedroom house, and officers would have been of the opinion that there was no demand or further demand created for this change of use in any case. So having considered that and the locality of the proposal, officers are satisfied that the compliance with policy AMP7 and policy TR5 of their area plan. We've considered the Clarence Street conservation area and the associated heritage policies contained within their area plan and PPS 6. And neither the change of use and will have an adverse effect on the Clarence Street conservation area, and the proposal will be in compliance with the relevant policies. If there's no issues in relation to natural heritage, the proposal meets NIHE standards. And in conclusion, and having considered all the relevant material considerations, officers are recommend that the application should be approved. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Malachy. Okay, members, thank you for the presentation, Malachy. There are no speakers on this issue anyway, so I'm going to go straight into questions for the officer. So if you want to go ahead there, members, thank you. Nobody looking to come in, members, to any questions of Malachy? No, that's okay then. Well, members, there's a...
Chair, I'm on the chat.
Okay, Councillor Boyd. Yeah, go ahead there.
Sorry about that. I'm never sure now whether this WebEx works or doesn't work, or if you're getting the messages or not. Chair, there's a number of matters in relation to this that I think would be worth. You hear me okay? Yeah?
I can hear you, Councillor Boyd. Yeah, no problem.
I think it'd be worth teasing out a couple of matters in relation to this particular application. So I'm going to spell two of them out. One evidently is that there's a significant degree of concern in this particular neighbourhood about antisocial behaviour by some other residents in and around here. And whilst I understand and I appreciate that these are matters for other agencies, I would have been interested to find out from those other agencies, very specifically from the police, just how serious the issue is in and around the Patrick Street area at this time. I know anecdotally, I know personally that there are very, very major concerns by the residents in this street. I've had to deal with quite a bit of it myself. So I would have genuinely wanted to know from the police what kind of statistics they have, whether that stands up or not. And then secondly, and this is probably something more pertinent, not simply just to this application, but to other applications, because you'll know, Chair, and other members of the committee will also know, we are now also seeing intervention from Ulster University and supporting letters from Ulster University, which do indicate that they are interested in some of these HMOs, and they will probably bring them under some kind of a management arrangement for students at the university. And that this is a question for officers, maybe not for Malachy, but for whomsoever thinks they can answer it. And that is, if we are going to grant planning permission for HMOs specifically, where the university are supporting the idea of the HMO, is there any way that we might be able to then condition the approvals to ensure that these are university accommodations and are managed by the university? That's me, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Boyle. I will pass to Malachy or to see, or maybe anybody, if you can attempt to answer either of those two issues that you've raised, Councillor Boyle, and if not, then maybe one of the other officers can come on in. But if you want to try, Malachy, thank you.
Yes, well, I think it's the second question that's been directed to officers. Yeah, look, we wouldn't condition, the tenancy for a HMO. It's not something that's been in practice, and I don't think it would meet the test of the conditions that's set out in the SPPS. And if Maura Andre want to come on, they expand on that.
Okay, thank you, Melanie, and Maura's going to come on here and expand on that. Councillor Boyle, thank you.
Yeah, I think Malachy's right that it wouldn't be our role, it wouldn't be within our remit in order to, pass the tests in terms of conditions. I would agree with Malachy. It wouldn't be appropriate. Thanks.
Okay, Councillor Boyle, that's your second limb of that question answered. I don't know about the first, if anybody can help about policing or whatever, no. I don't think that's a planning consideration anyway, Councillor Boyle, maybe. So are you happy enough with those answers?
Well, Chair, obviously I understand the answer, and in truth, that's the answer that I expected. But I thought it was worth putting out there, so as we could all understand it. I personally, Chair, given my own knowledge of the issues in this particular neighbourhood at the minute, I'm reluctant to support the recommendation on the basis that I'm just very uncomfortable for the local people who do have very real concerns, and we as a committee don't have full knowledge of just how serious it is, and to that effect, I can't support the recommendation to approve this at this point. I would suggest, if it's at all possible, that we might defer this. We consult with the PSNA to assess just what the situation is currently in Patrick Street before we come to a decision on this.
Councillor Boyd, I just took advice from the planning officers here, but I've just confirmed that the policing issue is not a material consideration in relation to the planning application, and therefore they wouldn't need to consult on that basis with the PSNA. I understand where you're coming from, and from your own information and your own background and knowledge in relation to this, but on this basis, it wouldn't be probably appropriate at this moment to defer the application in regard to that actual aspect that you're seeking. So at this point, Councillor Boyd, I'm going to go on with the application.
Okay, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Boyd.
Yes, Chair, sorry, I understand that, and I appreciate what officers are saying. I've made my point, and I'm going to stick with that. I get it, I understand that it may well be considered legislatively that we can't consider matters in relation to antisocial behaviour, etc. But my knowledge makes me uncomfortable in either proposing this or supporting the proposal. So on this occasion, Chair, I think you know where I stand on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Boyd. I understand where the actual position you're coming from, but obviously the remit of the chair is to move the process on the basis that it should be. And unfortunately, on this basis, I'm going to move on the application, given the fact that it's not a material consideration in relation to the application. But thank you for raising it anyway. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak on the application? Anybody wish to speak any further on, ask any questions of Malachy? Well, okay, members, if there's no further questions for the officer, then obviously there is a recommendation to approve the application that's before us today. So if anybody wishes to bring forward an application or a proposal, I'd be happy to take it. Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Yes, Chair, I'm happy to propose a recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Murphy. Based on what's before you and the
Based on the paper.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Is anybody on the second that application? by councillor Murphy.
I'll second that, Chair.
Thank you, councillor Jackson. Okay, Maura, that's application to approve the recommendation. It's been proposed by councillor Murphy and seconded by councillor Jackson. Could we go to the vote on that, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Members, this is item 3 and it's a proposal to accept officer recommendation. Alderman Derek Hussey.
Wasn't present for the full presentation. Abstention.
Alderman Keith Kerrigan also.
Missed the
Yeah,
start of it, so I'll
abstention.
abstain.
That's
Thank you, Maura.
Yeah, okay. Alderman Neary McMorris, apologies. Councillor Jason Bars, apologies. Councillor John Boyle.
Against?
Okay, thank you. Councillor Sean Fleming. Not there.
Ta, Maura.
Yes, thank you. Councillor Paul Gallagher.
Maura.
Thank you. Councillor Christopher Jackson.
Ta, Maura.
Okay. Councillor Fergal Leonard. Not here. Councillor Catherine McDade, apologies. Councillor Rory McHugh.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Sean Mooney.
Against?
Thank you. Councillor Patrick Murphy. Okay. And Councillor Grayson Ellis. Thank you. So that's 2 against and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, members, that application is approved, 6-4, 2 against. So thank you, members. That is, our application is now complete. Yes, Alderman Hussey.
And arising from that, as I said, I wasn't present for the entire presentation, but quite often in these types of presentations, we have the template letter from the university, and I think that has been referred to indirectly by Councillor Boyle. It seems that the university are constantly using the private sector to deal with the issue of their students. Could I propose that the committee would write to the university and ask them what they propose themselves to do to address the issue of a student accommodation in this area? I mean, it happens in other areas where universities themselves provide accommodation along with the private sector. So why aren't Ulster University addressing this issue themselves in the city? I propose that we write and ask that question. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Alderman Hussey. Does anybody else want to come in on that matter that Alderman Hussey has raised?
Chair, I'm on the chat box there again.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, John.
Chair, I'm fully supportive of what Alderman Hussey's suggesting. I think it would certainly prove worthwhile for us as a planning committee to know what the future plans vis-a-vis student accommodation are from Ulster University. So I fully endorse that idea that we find that out. So I'll second that. Thank you, Chair.
Everybody's agreed.
Thank you, Councillor Boyle. I think everybody's on board with the application, yeah. I don't think anybody's demurring anyway, so certainly I'm happy with that as well. So we'll certainly attend to that. Alderman Hussey, thank you for that proposal, and thank you to Councillor Boyle for seconding it anyway. So I'm going to carry on now, and the next items on our list are open for information, items 7, 8 and 9. Any members wish to raise any of those issues out of any of those items, then please come forward now. Okay, members, in light of that, nobody has anything to want to raise, then that's our meeting now ended for today, and thank you very much.
Chair, was there a suggestion that Mr. Malloy wished to speak to members?
Apologies, Alderman Hussey, I was about to raise that, and thank you for reminding me. Eamon's been detained in a meeting, a city meeting, but he said he will attend it as soon as he can for members anyway. But he passes on his apologies, and thank you for reminding me, because he was here about 20 minutes ago and just passed on his apologies, but thank you. Okay, members, that's our planning committee meeting ended this month anyway, and already seen you next month, Mr. Ban. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.